What about being love challenged? That's something else you talk about in your work. What does it mean when you say that some people are love challenged?
Well, again, we're talking about the reason that we need to coin these phrases is because these things are so prevalent and they're not really talked about very much because if you're someone who's love challenged, it's kind of hard to admit that to yourself, to be able to say, "Oh, by the way, I have difficulty loving."
Hmm.
It's very hard to self-diagnose. I I'm thinking of someone I worked with who was love challenged, but he didn't know it because he had been madly in love with other people in his life. He would have climbed Mount Everest for them. The only problem was they were hard to get. So he was only able to feel love when he was challenged, when the person was an emotional challenge.
Hmm.
But when it came to having a real relationship, right, very down to earth connection with someone, he didn't know how to conduct himself. He didn't know how to care. He didn't know how to create interest. Suddenly, conversation became boring with that person. Time stood still. Being with that person, the company felt boring. He didn't know how to engage in the creative process of love.
Hmm.
And love is a creative process. So there are people who need extra help, and it begins with the they're being able to identify it in themselves, to self-diagnose.
Hmm. I love what you just said, to engage in the creative process of love. That's so beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Whole different way of looking at it. That is so interesting.